You're watching or listening to The Looking Forward Show on PhillyCam, WPPM LP, Philadelphia, 106.5 FM, or PhillyCam TV. You can also see us live streaming on Xfinity 66 and 966, on Bios TV 2930, on Roku, Apple TV, and Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. And now, here's your host, Jeffrey Abramowitz. Grateful to be here today, and I'm so excited I have a co-host today. I don't think in the life of the show, well, I shouldn't say, I started off with Nate. Nate started the show with us, but I have Maxie Mandel co-hosting with me. How you doing, Maxie?
Good. How are you?
Good. You're listening to watching the Looking Forward Show. You can watch us on PhillyCam TV. We're live streaming on Xfinity 6696, on Vios TV 2930, on Roku, Apple TV, and check us out on our YouTube channel, The Looking Forward Show. You're also listening to us on PhillyCam Radio, WPPM LP, 106.5 FM. I am so excited to be here. This is a show all about music and the power of music, and I can't think of having a better co-host today. Maxie, how you doing?
I am doing well, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for having me. I can't think of a better show to be on either.
Oh, there you go. So Maxie's a return guest for us. This is her second time on Looking Forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, first time she came on, and I think we were virtual at the time, and we're just on the radio, and you got to play a song for us, Rise, which was an amazing song.
Yeah.
I think you played for us, and you're going to be here today, and you're going to be debuting another song. It's been out for a little bit, but first time we've gotten aired on our show, so we're really excited about it. So I got to catch up with you on a few things. First is this coming month, we're coming to the end of March, and the beginning of April is Reentry Month across the country. So I'm looking for guests that have done amazing things that from their journey from incarceration to coming home. So if you have a story to tell and you want to get on our next show, we're celebrating April next Tuesday. We're going to be celebrating Reentry Month. Give me a shout out. You can reach me at lookingforward@gmail.com. Send me a quick note saying, Jeff, I'd love to get on. Here's my story. And we'll be highlighting some great people that have done some amazing work traveling through the justice system and getting back on their feet. This has been a crazy week for me. I was started out in Long Beach, California earlier the week. I spoke at the Correctional Educators Association conference and gave a few speeches out there and got to catch up with some great people that are doing some good work. Educators behind the walls, really passionate about that and trying to get people smarter. So we got a lot of that going on tonight. If you're not familiar with John Ponder and Hope for Prisoners, John has a show, a weekly show. It's every Tuesday. And it's out in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm going to be a guest on the show tonight. I'm going to be talking about my journey, but how important it is to help people as they come home from incarceration and going through the justice system. So I hope you'll get a chance to check that out. It's Hope for Prisoners, as the podcast is called, The Huddle. And last thing is Lou Narvaez, who's District Director of Probation and Parole. Lou was not able to make it today, but he did send me a quick note, and he said, Jeff, can you let your audience know that the Citizens Advisory Committee is doing something great? They're having this resource hub on April 12th. From 11 to 2 at Calvary Christian Church. I want to get it out there. I'm going to put it on our website so you can check it out, but all good stuff. So the power of music. We got some guests on today that I'm really excited about, and they epitomize the power of music. So I'm really excited. We're going to take a quick break, but during each of our breaks today, I want you to listen to the music that's coming out and watch the intros, because those are all great. We also have a special guest who just popped on today. We're going to be bringing him on first, and he's a good friend. We got to catch up recently when I was in Austin, Texas. And the incomparable Saul Paul is going to be with us today. He's going to be our first guest. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to pop Saul. Saul Paul is going to be on as our first guest today. So you're listening to the Looking Forward Show, and we're going to be right back.
I feel like that was the best timing in the world, my part.
You're watching or listening to The Looking Forward Show on PhillyCam, WPPM LP, Philadelphia, 106.5 FM,
or Phillycam TV. You can also see us live streaming on Xfinity 66 and 966, on Bios TV 21 and 30, on Roku, Apple TV, and Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. And now, here's your host, Jeffrey Abramowitz.
We are back. We are back. We are here with my co-host today, Maxie Mandel, and the incomparable Saul Paul. Saul, how are you?
I am exceptional. Bottom line, I feel great. Thank you for having me.
You are amazing. And so for those that may not know, and it's hard for me, anyone in this world, not to know Grammy Award nominated artist Saul Paul. Saul is he's an international reputation as a musician and singer, songwriter. He does it all. He's been 3 TEDx talks. He's been in 5 Super Bowls, Americans Got Talent. He's performed at the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts. He lives out of Austin, and he has got #1 songs on the Sirius XM and a catalog of music that goes way into so many different songs, but he really touches young people. Be the Change and It's Okay to Be Different are some of his songs. We're going to hear Best Day Ever today. I'm going to be playing that because that's one of my favorite songs, because I like to think that every day out of prison is my best day ever, just to give it to that. There you go. Saul has impacted over 1 million youth, and he's done so much and so recognized across the country. And I'm proud to say that he's a friend. We got to catch up a little bit in Austin and at South by Southwest EDU, where he performed out there. And I was walking down the street in Austin, and I looked over at the wall next to me, and what did I see? I saw your own darn mural. You have your own mural in Austin on the wall. It says Saul Paul. His whole picture's out there. How you doing, Saul?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for that magnanimous intro. It's crazy because it's true, but I love that you caught every day out of prison is basically the best day ever.
Yeah, for sure. So we met a few years ago. We were both Just Leadership Fellows in New York, and we got to talk and get to know each other a bit. But I'm really, the work that you're doing. Can you just tell my audience, you really centered and found your sweet spot with working with young people. And I was wondering if you could explain about your little motivation, like what it's all about.
Well, as I was sitting in prison, my story is that I went from prison incarceration to college graduation. I was convicted of 4 felonies and sat in the Texas State Penitentiary. But while there, I discovered that we're born on purpose with a purpose. I realized that if I changed my choices, I could change my life. That's what I did. I was blessed. I got out the penitentiary, went to the prestigious University of Texas at Austin, and graduated with a 4.0. So when I went from 4 felonies to a 4.0, I knew I came to recognize that I had an inherent responsibility to give back, to do more than just not be a recidivist. And I also realized that as I sat in prison, all the things that people had told me, the seeds that people had sown into my life about choices and what not to do and what I should do, like they were there. Now, I also realized that I felt like they had communicated to me. They communicated to me, they communicated in a way that really didn't connect. I ultimately, it wasn't that I didn't listen, it's that I didn't hear them. And I realized that I had this unique gift, this skill to be able to speak in a way to where young people could hear me, so they would have the chance to listen. And that's why I found my sweet spot with young people, because I realized that those seeds that are being sown are not invalid. They actually are planted there, and I want them to have access to good information.
Yeah, good stuff. So the show theme is all about the power of music, and music for me when I was away was so impactful. Like I needed music to make it through the day and listen to music all the time and continue to do it on the outside and really find that, I just find that happy spot when I'm listening to music, and you seem to have that connection with people. So tell us your theory on what does music do for you and what does it do for the young people that you work with?
I think music is magic. There's magic in music. Music has this capacity and this ability to move past the physical and connect to a person's spirit, speak to a person's soul. And I think it's important what you do with that opportunity and with that power. So that's how I utilize it. And then to be a music creator, there's more power when you're authentic. There's more power when you're vulnerable. And myself, I choose to cover things that might be considered atypical, but I've discovered just from the feedback of my listeners and my audience that they connect with those things. For example, like you liking the song Best Day Ever. Like I write that song specifically like with a certain audience in mind. You were not the audience. I wrote a song with you as an audience in mind, and it's crazy.
I'm actually 12 years old. You don't know that, but if you ask my partner Lisa, she'll tell you that. He's still a kid.
No, that's the cool part, right? Like when people just say, "Oh, I know how this works, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this for this," and they get that. Instead, it's like that vulnerability that comes from like, I'm just going to create what I create, put this out there, and let it connect with who it connects to. And so it was cool to stumble across that truth because it works in music, but it works in life as well. It's like just being able to share all of yourself.
I love it. I love it. So, you know, I follow you all the time. So I was watching a video recently that came out, and right in the center of a guy on a skateboard is, and I got to taste it while I was out in Austin, was Saul Paul water. So tell me about the change. What's that all about?
Yeah, it's the official name is Saul Paul's Change Water. It was just Change Water with people still. Okay. So that's why I had to put the Saul Paul. If nothing else, we know who Saul Paul is. But really, Change Water. Our motto is quench your thirst for change. The water itself is it's alkaline water. It's premium electrolyte water. It's boosted with electrolytes. There's oxygen added to it. It gives it this sweet, unique, light taste. The product itself is top notch. More so, the mission is even more important. We donate 50% of our profits to local nonprofits. So, for example, when I'm there in Pennsylvania, when I'm in the 215 area code, for example, when I go from the 512 to the 215, we can partner with, when it's sold in that area, we give back to that area. It was me coming up with a way to be able to scale doing good.
I love it. I love it. So I know you brought your guitar with you today. I want to give you some space. You want to play us a tune?
Well, I always have it because it's just a good armrest.
There you go. You can, or we got Best Day Ever loaded up too. We can play that if you like too. I'll give you a choice.
You can play that format. Yeah, go ahead and that's pretty cool that you selected one. That's a great one.
We're gonna give you a shout out. Here's Saul Paul at Best Day Ever. Take a.
What up, fam? You should make today the best day ever. Like I had a dream, and it was so real. It was like I was dreaming in 3D. And now I'm thinking, what does it take to actually have the best day ever? Like, where would I go? Who would I see? What would I eat? It's like, best day ever. Oh my, I can't help it, I feel so fly. Okay, I slept in and had big dreams. Now that I'm awake, let's do big things. Let's get it. We can take a trip and go Disney. I'm with it. Waffles on the plane with the whipped cream. Ooh, no, let's hit a water park. Oh, wait, did I hear a dog bark? Ooh, even better, it's a puppy. It's so cute, it's a must see, yeah. Let's take a pic, don't make a movie. Have a dance party, keep it groovy. Climb a mountain, we can snowboard. I don't have to rush home, I have no choice. We can play the games over. I'm feeling lucky like a 4-leaf clover. It's a big, big planet with friends and family. Radio jamming, we about to have some fun. Sun still shining, I'm reclining at the pool. You can find me. We about to have some fun. Vacay with the best friends.
Yep.
No little brother, just them.
Okay.
Okay, wait, adjustment.
What?
Parents, they can come, they drive and have budgets.
What's the budget?
Allowance.
In that case, I'll allow it.
Got it? Good. Let's go shopping. Eat all day, no tummy aches, no stopping. Hop in and race a go-kart. Oh my gosh, I feel so smart. I brought a flashlight for when it goes dark. We can go camping in the Ozarks. We can go there when we skydive. Unless we go indoors and I fly. So many choices. I'm good long as the cake is the moistest. It's a big, big planet with friends and family. Radio jamming, we about to have some fun. Sun still shining, I'm reclining at the pool. You can find me. We about to have some fun. Big, big planet. Best day ever. Big, big planet. We about to have some fun. Big, big planet. Best day ever. Big.
There you go. I love it. It is the best day ever, especially when I get to catch up with you. Saul, thank you so much for taking some time in your busy schedule to come out today. If people wanted to hear your music, where's the best place to go to?
anywhere they listen to music, and all they have to do is search my name, Saul Paul. That's one word, SAULPAUL. If they want music, motivation, and more, they should go to my headquarters, which is saulpaul.com.
Awesome. We love it. Saul, thank you so much for taking some time out today. You're an inspiration to young people around the country, if not around the world. And I love when we catch up all the time. But more importantly, you got the passion of music and you're doing some great work through it. So continue to do all that stuff that you do that's right in your heart. And you know, we really appreciate you. We appreciate your journey. We appreciate your story. Any final words for our audience?
Be the change. The fact is, we're all born on the same planet. The truth is, we each live in our own world. I encourage you to be the change in the world you live in.
We love it. Saul Paul, awesome. Thank you, Saul Paul. We're going to be right back with my friends from Philly Truce. We'll be right back.
You're watching or listening to The Looking Forward Show on PhillyCam, WPPM LP, Philadelphia, 106.5 FM, or PhillyCam TV. You can also see us live streaming on Xfinity 66 and 966, on Bios TV 29 and 30, on Roku, Apple TV, and Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. And now, here's your host, Jeffrey Abramowitz.
Up on the screen. There we go. So we got Philly Truce in the house today. Philly Truce is so I should give you a little bit of intro because you guys are all amazing. And I'm hoping, Saul, you can hang in because we'll get you back on later on, give in the final wrap up if you can. But we have Mazzy Hasher is on. Mazzy, you are he's originally was a member of NAME, the group, Philadelphia Hip Hop Ensemble. He's a solo artist under the name of Grand Agent. In 2010, he got into television and theater. He has over 100 placements in songs and performances on Disney Channel and Oprah Winfrey Show. Pretty amazing. And scripted TV shows. You know, he's got a series, The Last Shot. In 2017, that came out. But more importantly, in 2020, he made this amazing pivot, which we're going to talk about today, and helped create Philly Truce. So welcome aboard. How are you, my friend?
Jeff, what's up, man? Good to see you. Great to be here. Thank you.
It is great to see you. So next we got Stephen Pickens on. Stephen is the co-founder of Philly Truce, and Stephen has the admiration of just about every American that has ever been involved or seen anything with fire, because he's a Philadelphia fireman and works with Philadelphia Fire Department. It's done amazing things, with them. But join your effort in Philly Truce. We're going to hear, Stephen, how this all got started, and then we got a little surprise guest today, and I was glad to see him pop on. We're going to hear his story today as well. Blizzy Trill. Blizzy Trill is on today, and Blizzy, we want to hear about from you too. So let's start with Mazzy first, because I want to hear a little bit about, you've the king of hip hop in Philadelphia, really well recognized, and your journey is pretty remarkable. But tell us how you got to where you are today.
Last year I was living outside of Philly, about 100 miles away, and I came down and ran into Steve, who I grew up with, and things were, I'm sorry, not last year now, 2020, the end of 2020, and we started talking about what was going on, and the numbers were ramping up, and Steve kind of had a heavy heart, and we started talking about what we could do, and one thing led to another, and before we knew it, we were talking about let's do an app, and we got that together, and it's just kind of been a roller coaster from there. It might sound oversimplified, but that's really exactly how it happened.
No, you way oversimplified it, because I know what Philly Truce does, and you oversimplified it. So Philadelphia right now, for those that listen in our audience across the country, has probably the largest gun violence issue in the entire country. Above Chicago, I mean, every city in the country, we are right at the top of that list. And I'm curious a little bit, Stephen, how did Philly Truce get to? And you can explain a little bit about what Philly Truce does, because I think it's really important for people to know.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you for having us on today. Really appreciate it. So Philly Truce is an app that is in the Google Play Store and on your Apple's store for iOS operating systems. That it puts people, Philadelphians in particular, with knowledge of potentially violent conflicts in contact with trained mediators 24/7. And on the other side of the app, we're calling for the community members that are skillful in conflict resolution and mediation, and essentially in the human services fields, to be that help on the other side for the community that's in need of help.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So I actually got on the app. So I heard about this, Maxie. I just heard about these guys. I said, I got to check it out. And I pulled the app up on my phone. And literally within 24 hours, I got not only a feedback, but a phone call from Steven saying, hey, yo, can you help us? I was like, yeah, let's do it. What do we got to do? Really important stuff. And we wish you well with Philly Truce. And if just real quick, if people wanted to find the app, where would they go to?
Yeah, you go to the App Store, Play Store, anywhere you would get every other app you got on your phone, and you just put it on there. It's a very simple platform. As Steve said, there's two options: get help and volunteer, which amounts to give help. And it's self-explanatory, but there's also a video in the beginning that really walks you through what you would need to do on either end, either to place your first help request and or to sign up as a volunteer. And a volunteer at this stage in the game for us simply means you're willing to man the app when you have spare time. You be logged in. When help requests come across, you'll get a ping. If you're able to help somebody out, you respond to that call and, see how far that person on the other end is willing to go into the mediation process. Man. Because, we are encouraging our community to be preemptive and preventive. And also letting them know that means you have to give us the breadcrumbs to help.
Good stuff. I got Maxie downloading it now on her phone. She's gonna start getting it on there. So you guys, I know. I did not know before we came on to the show Blizzy Trill. And first of all, it's one of the coolest names. So Blizzy Trill, tell me a little about yourself and how you get connected with these guys.
I'm Blizzy Trill. I'm from North Philly, and Mazie, who I originally knew as Grand Agent, was like my first mentor in music. You know what I mean? Started making music at an early age, and our parents had a relationship. And once my pop saw that I took music seriously, he reached out and took me to meet Mazie. And then from there, we kind of just been locked in, you know what I'm saying? So that's in. And
so what's your passion? You writer, singer?
Yeah, I'm a writer. I'm a writer first. I always go for writer first.
All right. Writer so first. We want you to send some stuff to Saul Paul. We want you to get some of his some good music out there. Yeah. Just like Best Day Ever. That's all we want to do.
And I really like that too. I was tuned into that. I like the video was real creative as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I want you guys to show off a little bit, and you guys sent me some of your music, and I want to play it now. So I'm going to put you back in a second, but I want everybody to listen and to this music from Philly Truce, and believe it's their next album that's coming out. So here we go. Let's take a listen.
Remember when my uncle was going through that thing with them boys from Southwest?
Yeah.
They squashed all of that.
For real? Philly Truce, huh?
Bill Collectors.
With so much drama, it's so much drama, it's so much drama, with so much drama in the 215, it's kinda hard keeping up how they shoot them things, but somehow, some way, we gotta stop how they making bodies drop every single day. May I kick a little something for the young, or make a lot of sense for the young. We ain't doing business with the prison or the grave digger. Y'all going home. Got folks on the act mediating the wars. Not near one of them's a snitch on reform. So what you wanna do? We gotta love these young brothers, help them see what the guns do. They turn out the lights and close the door. And for what? Usually nothing, yo. So we gon' call it truce for that. Pull it up, download it, baby, use that app. We just
holding down the peace. That's my jam, yo. Calling a Philly truce. Straight back.
got my mind on my life, cause my life on the line.
Holding down the peace. That's my jam, yo. Calling a Philly truce. Straight back.
Got my mind on my life, cause my life on the line. We know the truth is the trend. Everybody tell you gunslinging foes and friends. See, these types of things don't happen all the time. We gon' intervene. You could call it divine. Everything ain't fine. So from now we will vigilantly counter-attack whatever says killing is free. New vision. It's in the words that I speak. It's the last brown body in the middle of the street. Mama hovering and spazzing all crazy. She used to be a real strong lady. That queen vaguely is seen when they tell her, Miss, please just evacuate the scene. You'll contaminate the scene. You mean? But she done already solved this thing. She's a queen.
Holding down the peace. That's my jam, yo. Calling a Philly truce. Straight back.
Got my mind on my life, cause my life on the line.
Holding down the peace. That's my jam, yo. Calling a Philly truce. Straight back.
Got my mind on my life, cause my life on the line.
I'm not gonna let you come around here and try to disrespect me. So much drama.
I get a boost from this.
Yo, I ain't going nowhere without that thing on me.
Talking about you keep things on them. What is the thing?
Later on that day, we gotta communicate. The ops been spotted around the way. They got a big AK with a laser and a scope. It's not a joke. They want smoke. Had to walk up on them with the white flag raised. We don't carry pistols, we just mediate. But if we don't stop it, it won't be stopping. You got some options, consider the options. You can serve them, yeah, you can bury the ops. But when you bust that gun, you running from all the cops. We know you upset, but just let it go. Learn to love yourself and love your brother, and you'll be
holding down the peace. That's my jam, yo. Calling a Philly truce. Straight back.
got my mind on my life, cause my life on the line.
Holding down the peace. That's my jam, yo. Calling a Philly truce. Straight back.
Got my mind on my life, cause my life on the line.
It's so much drama. I mean, it's so much drama. It's so much drama. I mean, it's so much drama.
Philly truth, know what I mean?
It's so much drama. I mean, it's so much drama.
Big Lee and Howard,
It's so much drama.
Man, Mazzy,
I mean, it's so much drama.
Baby.
It's so much drama. I mean, it's so much drama. It's so much drama. I mean, it's so much drama.
Wow. You know it's good when Saul Paul's in the green room and he's dancing. So yeah, that's pretty good, man. That's some good stuff. So it's all about Philly Truce. So tell us about where is that? Is that on a new album that's coming out?
Okay, so a large part of what we endeavor to do with Philly Truce is to really modify the culture of this city, right? And you touched on it a little bit before. Just if we could get people listening to different stuff, they might think differently, ultimately behave a little bit differently. So, as part of what we want to do is to put music out that matches the overall movement we want to see in the city. So Philly Truce is on May 10th going to release Truce music. It'll feature that song, Philly Truce Jam, by myself. And people should recognize that as a parody of Gin and Juice, Philly Truce, Gin and Juice. And but my man Blizzy right here is really the hero of the day. He got the song Zero Homicide Now. That's going to be the lead single. I hope we could get that video on real quick. And right now, starting today, that video is going to be available exclusively in the Philly Truce app. So if you want to see that, download the app. You hit the menu and watch the videos. You can see Zero Homicides Now. And we're gonna have Blizzy live at Philly Truce Day, which is May 7th, front and area at the Lighthouse Field, a huge event. And May 10th, we'll have Truce music dropping. Myself, Blizzy, who else on there? Who else?
Love it. Zero homicides now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, everybody out there, I want you to hit it up. Zero homicides now. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and our next guest is got an amazing song, and she's been my co-host today, and there's a reason why she's sitting next to me. Maxie Mandel is up next. We'll be right back.
You're watching or listening to The Looking Forward Show on PhillyCam, WPPM LP, Philadelphia, 106.5 FM, or PhillyCam TV. You can also see us live streaming on Xfinity 66 and 966, on Bios TV 29 and 30, on Roku, Apple TV, and Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. And now, here's your host, Jeffrey Abramowitz.
Are back here at Looking Forward Show. And again, we're on PhillyCam, WPPM, LP Philadelphia 106.5, on PhillyCam TV, live streaming, Xfinity 6696, Bios 2930, Roku, Apple TV, and you can see us on our YouTube channel, The Looking Forward Show. So, Maxie, how are you?
I'm good.
So you've been sitting
How are
next
you?
to us. You've been quiet all day. We're going to get you talking now a little bit. So tell us a little bit about Maxie Mandel. It's not your first rodeo here. You've been on the show before. But tell our audience, remind us who you are.
My name is Maxie Mandel. I'm a singer, songwriter, artist, producer, musician, and advocate of human rights, I would say. I aim to make music that shares a message and that empowers people and that inspires people. And I do that through writing songs and through making songs and through doing what makes me happy to make other people happy.
Awesome. So Maxie, you are so you're a senior in high school,
Yes.
correct? And I know you're waiting for those college letters to come back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not going to put you on the spot as to where you want to go because we won't go there. But so tell us a little bit about your passion. Like, what drives you to write the songs you do?
I would say that my own experience my own experience drives me to write the songs, but I tend to see that my experience is universal. It's not just what I'm going through, and that's why it makes me so happy to see other people relating to the songs that I write, because it's like, this really is the human experience. This isn't just something that I'm going through. So I think I feel really blessed to have given the gift to be able to write songs that connect to a lot of people when I might be going through something, but then other people can relate to the same thing that I'm going to.
Yeah,
that I'm
so
going through.
the song you're about to hear is a song that touched me when I first heard it, and it's really why I wanted you on. But it's a song. Well, why don't you tell us what the song is all about?
Yeah, so this song is actually a little bit different. This is called The Reckoning. I released this song in September of 2020, so actually a long time ago. But I wrote this song not based off of my own experience entirely. This is when I came home from the George Floyd protest for his murder in June or May of 2020 after his murder. And I was so struck by seeing everybody like marching in the streets for the same thing, for justice, particularly all of the young people there, and how it was us. It was like, we are the new generation, so many ethnicities, so many backgrounds, so many different kinds of people, but we're all marching in the streets for the same thing. So that's what the song is about. It's about kind of like my hope in humanity in this generation, how moved I was by seeing everybody advocate and fight for justice. So this is not solely my own experience, but it's about what I witnessed.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. And, it's really a song with a purpose behind it. And I think the one thing that, I recognize is the color of my skin. A lot of the work I do is because of the color of my skin. And I tell the story often of men and women that are black and brown that are so marginalized in our criminal justice systems and our systems in general, and have been for decades, and just getting the word out there. And I think it's so admirable of the work that you do and the songs that you put out there, because it brings it to the forefront, and it really starts that discussion and continues it going. So it doesn't become just diversity, equity, and confusion. It really is got some purpose behind it, and change can happen that way. So I want to introduce the song. I'm going to play it for you now. And this is a song called The Reckoning by Maxie Mandel.
Crowds of people line the streets, fists raised in solidarity. A Amid the chaos, raging lies, hope ignites here in prosperity. While all is uncertain, the one thing we know is we won't go unnoticed this time. So sing it loud and sing it free. Rise for the ones who can't speak. 'Cause I am you and you are me, and we are the reckoning. We've marched for equal rights and for our lives, and now we fight for justice. Homemade signs of different colors, shapes, and sizes unite us. When the system is broken, the one thing we know is we will not be silenced this time. So sing it loud and sing it free. Rise for the ones who can't speak. 'Cause I am you and you are me, and we are the reckoning. So take my hand and let's show up. Rise for the people we love. Tears in our eyes, but our hearts beat free. 'Cause we are the reckoning. As life after life is lost, when will enough be enough? The courage is flowing inside our blood. So rise up, rise up, rise up.
So sing it loud and sing it free. Rise for the ones who can't speak. 'Cause I am you and you are me, and we are the reckoning.
So take my hand and let's show up. Rise for the people we love. Tears in our eyes, but our hearts beat free. 'Cause we are the reckoning.
Darn, that was good. That was good. So she's here. I got chills singing that one. Listening to it. So when you hear it and you hear your own work, how does it make you feel?
Oh gosh. You mean this song or my work in
This
general?
song in particular.
This song, well, it brings back memories of why I wrote the song in the first place. So I think listening to my own song, I feel like I'm like stepping out of my shoes for this one a little bit, because I didn't write it about particularly something like in the most emotional like part of myself or something, but I rather feel like I just feel a part of a group of people, kind of, not the marginalized group of people, of course. I feel a part of the group of people that is like making change. And I hope that that's the group of people.
Definitely. So I noticed everybody kind of just listening intently on this and kind of swaying back and forth. It's one of those songs that's really touching and definitely gets that message across. So we appreciate you and thank you for sharing the song with us and being in the studio with us, being my co-host and my right arm today.
Thank you.
So we have another guest on today. I'm going to pop him on the screen, and then we're gonna bring Philly Truce back on as well. But Jeremiah Gregg. So, Jeremiah, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, and yourself? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Why don't you be my neighbor?
It is. So that's the guy. He's got the radio voice I always wanted. You know, that deep voice that just, you got to get in the studio here. Come in here. So how are you?
I'm doing good. I ain't got no complaints. Life is great.
So we got to talk a little bit this morning, and you're on a great group today because you're a bunch of stars that are doing some great stuff, but you're all really super passionate about music. And I asked you what drove you and what really got you going, and you gave me this whole thing, and I want to open the floor to you and just tell us, music is power. What do you got to say about that?
Music is very powerful because, see, when you play music, music goes straight to your heart. The heart is where you listen at. The ears is what you hear, but the heart always listen. And whatever's in your heart will come out your mouth. So music always sets the atmosphere. So if you want to set the atmosphere, if you want peace in your atmosphere, you want happiness and joy in your atmosphere, you have to play music. But as also, you got to have your mind in the right space, place, and time to play what you want in the atmosphere. Because wherever you're at, whatever spirit that whatever time and space you're at, and whatever spirit is on you, you're going to play it on the people as you play your music. So if you're depressed, guess what? You're going to play depressing music on the people. No matter how good it sounds, your spirit is going to be played on the people. If you're feeling suicidal, guess what? The spirit of suicide will be playing on the people. So when you create music, you have to be in the right space, place, and time that you don't put out no turmoil music on people, because guess what? Music goes straight to the heart. Your music is playing to people's heart. You can hear music any given day. You can hear a song that you don't like, but guess what? When somebody plays that song, it gets to your heart. You'll be singing it later on, even though you don't like the song, because guess what?
I love it.
Music goes straight to there.
So I believe everybody should have their theme song, like one song that just gets you going. My one song is "Lovely Day." And I wake up to it, and like every day, it's just a lovely day. You get out of bed. I don't care if it's raining, snowing outside. It's a lovely day. But
mine is "Say a Little Prayer" by
there.
Aretha Franklin.
Oh, I love that. That's a great way to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, tell us, our audience, a little about the work that you do. Are you a songwriter, singer? Where does music grab you?
I sing. I sing. I write prophetic songs. I sing prophetically. I love music because one thing I know as an artist, and as we all are artists, being an artist, you will always minister to people more than a pastor could, a priest could, the imam could, the rabbi could, because guess what? The music goes straight to the people's heart. Yeah. So guess what? If you want to get somebody out of a funk, guess what? What is your music producing? Is your music going to heal the people, or is it going to hurt the people?
It's that message. It's why Maxie's song touches me so much when we talk about the reckoning and what happened with George Floyd. Is it had a message to it and gets people thinking, right? It gets you really in that heart, get you going in the right direction. So have you produced any songs, or where do you do most of your work?
I'm working on a song now, and it's called "It's Time for War." I'm working on it as it's get your sword in your hands, basically putting on a whole armor of God, because it's time for war. Get your stance right, put the helmet on, the breastplate on, the shield in your hand, your sword in your hand, your belt of truth on, and the shoes of peace on, because it's time for war.
I love it. Well, when it's ready and you're ready to debut it, I want first dibs right on my show. Okay,
so I got you.
There you go. So if we in the whole world of things, like I know you write some music, where do you like to perform it? Where do you like to get out there?
No, I just perform it right here in this room right here, and I put it on my YouTube page and let it rock out. I give it to the people, whatever I'm feeling, whatever's on my spirit. I play it out. I sing, I'll pray, and I'll go in and just let the people have it.
Good deal. So if we wanted to hear your music, where could we go to? Where's your page?
YouTube, Jeremiah Gregg, Chef Jeremiah Gregg.
There you go. Love it. All right. We're going to bring everybody back on in a second. And I want to, when we come back on, I want to go around the table, and I like to get everybody's feeling on, where their passion lies, and some final words. We got a few minutes left, but you're listening to the Looking Forward Show, and we're going to be right back.
You're watching or listening to The Looking Forward Show on PhillyCan, WPPN LP, Philadelphia, 106.5 FM, or PhillyCan TV. You can also see us live streaming on Xfinity 66 and 966, on Bios TV 29 and 30, on Roku, Apple TV, and Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. And now, here's your host, Jeffrey Abramowitz.
We are back, and we got everybody here almost. We have a brick wall there for Mazzy, but he'll be back in a second. That's no problem. But I wanted to get to start off with Maxie because she's sitting next to me, and ladies go first. Just curious, if we wanted to hear your music, where do you perform? I know you're everywhere because I follow you around, and I see you're often performing in parks and different venues. But if somebody wanted to get to your music or hear you, how would they go about doing it?
Yeah, so first of all, I perform at a lot of local Philly venues, but as far as streaming, I'm on all streaming platforms. I have 3 singles out. I released them all in 2020 though, so they're old. I was like 15 when I recorded them, so my voice has changed a lot. But I'm releasing new music, so I'm working on a single right now called "Be All Right," which is a very like upbeat, get you going song, and then a whole EP actually is in production. So you can find me on all streaming platforms, and you can expect more music late spring, early summer. I'm really excited.
We love it. Maxie Mandel, get it in your heads because Grammy Award. Future awardist right here. Maxie Mandel is in the studio. She's in the house. Philly Truce guys. Mazzy, I know that you guys have been doing some great work in the studio as well. And I know music is your passion. And I do believe that, there is a connection between music and some of the things that are happening in our communities. But if our folks wanted to get involved in Philly Truce and they wanted to find out or touch onto your music, how would they go about doing it?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. The simplest way to get everything that Philly Truce is involved in is to just download the app. Go to your app store, go to your Play Store. As I said, we're debuting Blizzy's video, Zero Homicides Now, today in the app. There's a little music in the app, and we also want to open the platform to the community. It's a communal platform, so anything you need to know about Philly Truce, you want to go grab that app in your Play Store, your App Store, and you can get at us about all manner of business that we're involved in right through the app.
We love it. Blizzy, we know we're going to get to you in a second, but Saul, we know you're traveling the world. Like every time I see you're taking photographs from your plane, like some landed somewhere else. But if we wanted to track you down live or if we wanted to see you, how can we get your schedule? How can we listen to your music?
SaulPaul.com. SaulPaul. Just Google it. Wherever you get information on music, you can find me there. And people should definitely check me out this weekend. I'm going to be going live a lot. The Grammys happen to be this Sunday. They're in Vegas. So I had that Friday. I'll be live streaming, so bring that whole experience behind the scenes and whatnot.
I love it. So, Saul, I saw you out in Austin. I know you did a bunch of things out there, and I was touched by a few of the sessions that you had at South by Southwest EDU, and you were working with some young people out there, and the following that you have is just amazing. It really is incredible, and I wish you the best of luck as you get your music out there further and further. If for our young folks that are out there and they wanted to, is your tour schedule on there as well? Are they able to check you out there?
It is, yeah. The schedule's on SaulPaul.com. That's how we look at that. We look at it's on all social, so Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. But SaulPaul.com is where you find everything all the time.
SaulPaul.com. I love it. So the one thing that you guys all have in common is that you touch the world of justice. And I think that, for me especially, music is so impactful and where my headset around the house, and whenever I want to find that spot, I find I turn to music, and that's it's really important for me to try and to get to that zone of that safe place. And when I'm thinking about making a decision, I put music on, and it kind of gets my mind in the right frame. And I think if people turn to music first before they made some choices, that the world probably be a lot better place, right? Because we'd be more mindful of our actions and the choices that we make. So I really appreciate all the work you guys are doing in this space, and I think it's really important for those people that are out there. Though, is there a way, how do you really make music part of your life? Is it just picking up and just scoping around and finding what you like, or is there a trick to it? Anybody want to jump in on that?
It just got to be in you. Music it's in you. Music, you got to feel it. It's like music. You can zone out the music. It got to be in your heart. That's how you get into the music. It's not something that you like. It's something that you love. Because you can like one thing today and not like it tomorrow, but when you love it, you'll always love it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, and I believe that making music, telling the purposeful. First of all, I believe that you haven't found your purpose if you aren't looking to serve the people. If you're not using what you're doing, whatever it is that you're doing, in order to improve the world, then you haven't found your purpose. So that's first of all. So I feel like when you stay in your purpose, you look into and you just stay authentic to your story and your experiences and stuff like that. And your talent will take you the rest of the way. But I think you excel by remaining purposeful and serving.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think music to me is also about storytelling, right? Yeah. It's about, telling your story. I always say when I go out, a lot of people, I speak in public, they may not remember a lot about me, but they're going to remember my story, right? They'll remember the story behind my journey. And that's really what's on. And music is the same way. And so I know that in a lot of your songs, and Mazzy, in your songs too, that the song that we played today, was really pretty incredible when you think about it, because it's all blended in gun violence and how important, what's really happening on the streets of Philadelphia, right? And it's telling that story. And I think that's where people really connect. And for Saul in particular, and Mazzy and Philly Truce, you guys are all telling a story. And that's where people connect and get the messages that get out there. And it's really, it's so important. Maxie, I know that a lot of the songs that you've written, you wrote Rise as well, which we played on our last show, and The Reckoning, which obviously was regarding, George Floyd and the incident there. What motivates you when you sit down to write those songs?
A lot of the songs that I write, they're driven from typically times that I feel that I'm going through something alone. And it feels very isolating, but then I write these songs and then I see how I'm actually not alone because other people are connecting to them, and I find like solace through that. So that's my biggest inspiration. So my song Rise, it's just about knowing that nothing in the moment is temporary. Nothing in the moment is permanent. It's just temporary. It's only in the moment, and you're going to get through that moment. And then I have a song called Sad Girls, which I wrote about feeling like, being a middle school, high schooler, teenage girl, that whole drama, feeling like I had nobody. I was just like a sad girl. But everyone's kind of a sad girl, and it's like this song goes out to the sad girls. So
there you go. I love it.
Hey, could I piggyback off of that real quick?
Go for it.
Yeah, so I think I agree with that. It's like your most vulnerable creations, right? When you like really peel back the layers, and even especially like when you're hesitant to do it, like, do I really want to expose people to this part of me? Those are the pieces that people connect to the most. Those are the ones that go crazier, and people like sending you paragraphs about them, like, yo, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's how I know. It's like the more authentic you are, the more you are like really just sticking to your story and just like being vulnerable within your art. That's when you make your best art.
I agree. I want to say about that really, really quick. I so agree with that. It's scary. And I think that's how you know it's good. It's so scary sometimes to put that out. I'll write a line and I'll be like, should I say this? Do I want people to know this about myself? But the answer is yes, because somebody else might be hiding it within themselves and they may be too scared to say it. So I think if it's scary, that's good. You're on the right track and you need to say it. So I completely agree.
Yeah, being vulnerable, man, that's hard, right? It's hard when you put that music out there and it's really who you are, and it's indictment of yourself. It's really, you're putting yourself out there, and with every song, whether it's Best Day Ever or, whatever it is, Philly Truce, that's part of you. That's who you are. And I guess it'd be hard too when people look at it, and I guess your ultimate satisfaction is when somebody relates to it. And it's funny, but I saw all of you today that performed, and I saw Jeremiah back in his studio too, and everybody was like, as you're all performing, the heads are nodding, right? And you got the motion going, like you're connecting with it. I think that's the ultimate reward, I guess, for an artist, is when people recognize it and they relate to it and say, you know what, I felt that way. And that's really important to know. I want to go around the horn because we got a few minutes left. If I want to hear something, if you had something that you wanted to tell our audience about music and how you relate to it or the importance of it, what would you tell them? Where should they go? Jeremiah, give it to us. You're the poet.
So if you're looking for me, you can go on my YouTube page, Chef Jeremiah Omega Greg. Chef Jeremiah Omega Greg Senior, or you can catch me on my TikTok page, Food for Thought 1981. I give you life lessons, music. I tell people, beware of beautiful distractions. Whatever attracts you will distract you.
There you go. I love it.
Therefore, beware of them beautiful distractions, because guess what? They pull you off the path of life, the path is right, the path of right. If you let it.
There you go. He's writing right on the show. Somebody wrote that down. All right. Mazzy, what do you got for us?
I would just I would like to see. I ain't gonna say I would like to see. I would just put out a prayer for the young people. Coming up in these urban jungles today, that they not limit themselves to the music and the images and whatever they're supposed to be and look like and listen to. Jeremiah said earlier that energy goes straight to your soul. So I would just encourage young people to be careful about what they consume, right? Because if you put that stuff in you and you're not at a point where you can discern entertainment from reality, chances are your life may start imitating art, and we see how that's playing out in our streets. So, I would just encourage young people to be a little bit more adventurous. You know what I mean? Step outside the box, try some new stuff.
There you go. I love it. Philly Truce. So, Steven, if we wanted to get hold of Philly Truce and we wanted to get the app and get involved, volunteer, or we need some help, how we go about doing it?
Okay, in order to get involved with Philly Truce, you can go to phillytruce.com. And in order to get involved with Philly Truce Day, which is May 7th, the day before Mother's Day, at the Lighthouse Field, is phillytruceday.com. And also, in order to get involved in terms of to get help or to give help or be a volunteer on the Philly Truce app, you would go to your Google Play Store or your App Store for iOS operating systems.
I love it. Good stuff. Blizzy Trill. Blizzy, we love you, man. That smile, man. That's awesome. You're lighting up the airways here. Blizzy, we wish you well, and give it to us again. What's the hot single you got coming out?
So the single coming out is called Zero Homicides Now, and it's produced by Mr. Music 215. And you can find all of my music at Blizzy Trill across all platforms, across music platforms. That's my social media handle. I keep it simple for everybody. Just Blizzy Trill, any and everywhere. All right. So yeah.
I love it. Blizzy, thanks for being on today. And Mazzy and Steven, thank you for grabbing him on, because we know Blizzy's going to be somebody we're going to be listening to going forward. And we look forward to playing your song. And we're going to tag it onto our show when we make when this gets out and we put it on social media. So we'll make sure we get that song out there. And good luck to you on that. So, man, you've been a good friend, and I appreciate you so much hopping on today. I know you're really busy. It's a pleasure every time I see you somewhere, wherever we travel. We bump into each other, and you give me a few minutes. We get to catch up, and I really appreciate you. Wish you well, and again, give it to everybody. If we want to get hold of Saul Paul's music and find out where you're going to be in concert and everything, where should we go?
SAULPAUL, Saul Paul. One word. 2 capitals, no space. Me and you, we go back. So, like, my 2022 New Year's resolution is to correct everybody when they say my name wrong. Bro.
I love it.
You predate that, so you keep calling me Saul, but I let everybody do it. But it's really just Saul Paul, because it represents this transformation, how I went from Saul to Paul.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, SaulPaul.com, you can find me. It ain't hard.
Love it. So next time I want you on my show, it's going to be, I don't want Grammy nominated. I want Grammy award winner, right?
Hey, prophesy. I think that's going to go down.
There you go.
There you go.
I want to say this, though. We ain't really need to chop it up. Shout out to the homies, Philly Truce. Say that the movement is powerful. The song slap. To the young lady, I'm terrible with names. I think it's Mandy.
Maxie. That's okay.
Yeah. That was a powerful song, the one that they played.
Yeah.
And
Good stuff.
shout out to the man. So, But yeah, so we all hustling. I love it. So
Good
hopefully
stuff.
we'll be award winning. But that's not what my value comes from. You know what I'm saying? If you dope, you know it. You just gotta know how to finesse the world. So when you win shiny things, they pay attention. We gotta do whatever we gotta do to make sure that people hear our message. So
Love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being on the show today. We had a great show. Maxie Mandel, obviously, thanks for being a great co-host today, sitting next to me. We are looking forward. You can hear us again on Philly Cam, WPPM LP 106.5 FM on Philly Cam TV. We're live streaming, and check us out on the YouTube channel, The Looking Forward Show. And we look forward to our next show coming up on Reentry Week. We'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks, everybody.